Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. MasterCard is getting ready to start moving the Bitcoin. That's what it is. Ripple $25 giveaway, or is it a donation? Was it a giveaway? I don't know what it was. We're going to talk about it. We're going to deep dive it. And you know who supports crypto? I'm going to tell you every show who supports crypto. President Trump. That's who supports crypto. Nobody else. XRP for the win. I don't know, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's a lot of others that are in the lead right now, but maybe XRP is kind of like the tortoise. If you're ready to kick this thing off, Chip.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
We're kicking it off. And Jeff, I'm glad that Sophie's encouraged by our thumbnail here. The thumbnail is very encouraging. It is the $25 million Ripple giveaway. And who will get that exactly? G'day, Steve Willits. G'day, Larry. G'day. Sir John is here. Sir John, how you doing? Appreciate you been over in Italy.
Right.
Over
in
Italy. Crypto G.
It's in the game.
All right, he's in the game. So let's go talk about a bunch of things tonight. But this one right here, we have to workshop this one because we have another dishonest organization out there that needs to be called out.
Another
for exactly who they are. Another one, right? So first of all, we had Ian Kane, who is pretending to be a Republican, and he actually has the audacity to criticize John Deaton on his border policy. Meanwhile, John Deaton went to the border. John Deaton worked pretty close when he was in the Marines. He was pretty, he spent part of his service time down there. So he also was involved in some drug busts and everything else. But don't worry, little Ian Kane, who is the protege of Elizabeth Warren, is going to tell us that John Deaton is not good for the border. Ridiculous. I mean, if that's your shot and you take that's your shot, you're a sad little man. Sad little unimportant man. Let's start with this one, Jeff. Eleanor Barrett, new from me. Ripple leads political push with the second $25 million donation to crypto super PAC. Shake. This is Ripple's second $25 million installment to Fairshake, making it the super PAC's largest donor.
110.
Swelling the crypto industry war chest to over 110 million. Right?
And now what, Chip, what does this crypto PAC, Fairshake, what do they actually represent? Who do they support?
Well, they're supposed to support pro-crypto candidates, Jeff. So that's the thing. And that's what we're going to kind of break down here.
Who they supported.
So this is my new mission, in addition to supporting John Deaton. But this is my new mission that ties into John Deaton because fantastic of Ripple, first of all, to make another contribution. I posted on X, Fairshake has yet to commit any donation support to John Deaton for his primary race against Democrat plant Ian Kane. Fairshake needs to step up and back the most critical race to unseat Elizabeth Warren, the most anti-crypto member of Congress. Interestingly, Fairshake spent $10 million to support Adam Schiff, a Democrat, in a primary race. He was never in danger of losing. Jeff, Adam Schiff has been in the House of Representatives since 2001. He's a name brand. He's in California. Do you really think
he's pretty much a shoo-in?
$10 million, not in his Senate bid, not in the Senate against the run, against the Republican Steve Garvey. No, this is the primary with Katie. What's her name? No one even remembers because she's nobody. Yeah. Meanwhile, put one statement out, Jeff, about crypto.
One in all the years of crypto, and here's the organization. It looks like we're witnessing kind of a transfer of wealth from the PAC. You have to look. Are they going to represent? Here's the question. Is this PAC going to represent from a bipartisan perspective and single out or shout out those representatives that have been pro-crypto for an extended period of time? Or are they going to go to an Adam Schiff who's made, like you said, one statement? I don't think he's made another statement. We'd have to go and see what his voting record is or was on the last bills that passed through. And I don't think that he was one of the D's that came to support the Fit 25. I'm not sure if he was or wasn't. We'd have to look, but I'm kind of leaning on this notion that he probably wasn't. But maybe he was. I don't know. But he's been very short in the crypto sphere, so to speak. One statement, that's it. So now we got to look him up. I'm gonna look. Should have probably looked this one up.
I said, what say you, Fairshake? Are you just another partisan super PAC? I mean, is this what it's going to be? I mean, is this what we're talking about here? It's insane. Okay, so then moving along here, John Deaton had posted over on X saying, here's a prime example of how to touch Elizabeth Warren really is. Time for change. Please go to johndeatonforsenate.com. And again, I had to hammer him again. I'm like, well, what can we expect Fairshake to donate that $10 million to Deaton's campaign? I mean, she is the most anti-crypto, anti-freedom senator.
Right.
I'm gonna keep hammering this stuff because this cannot stand. But by the way, they're supporting some no-name candidate in Wisconsin. They've supported nothing but mostly Democrats. Yeah, one Republican that's meaningless here or there.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm starting to worry about. Is this a partisan thing where it's the leftist liberal companies like Ripple and who believe in all kinds of like leftist sort of ideals? Are they created this whole super PAC to then funnel it back into Democrat campaigns? And Jeff, you remember for Adam Schiff, we found one pro crypto statement that came out in February, and then in March he got $10 million. It's insane.
Yeah, just like that. That was the requirement. He knew that if he came out and said something positive, then that's what you'd get. That's what he got. There you go.
Yeah, what's on here?
Kind of crazy.
Garlinghouse posted this on X. Thanks for chatting, Tony Rome. For the first time in U.S. history, crypto voters will be a significant force in this year's elections. Dems.
True.
It's not too late to abandon Elizabeth Warren's anti-crypto army rhetoric and take a bipartisan stance with your GOP colleagues on innovation. It should never have been political in the first place. This is what now, Jeff, if you stand for freedom in crypto, you don't make this statement. Now, if you're a lefty loony, this is the kind of statement you make. What's amazing to me is soon as Donald J. Trump went all in on crypto and people like the guy over there from Bankless is like, I don't know if we should credit him or not. I don't know if he's the right guy to credit. Meanwhile, he says, like, if you want to vote for crypto, you vote for Trump. And everyone's pulling out old tweets from when Trump said, I'm against Bitcoin. Now, what would you think would have happened if Trump said, I'm 120% in a Bitcoin? What would they have done? Would have banned it, Jeff. It would have been like, wait, because don't forget that he
all over it.
Yeah, he had made some. I gotta be careful what I say, but he was all in on some alternative drugs that could potentially help during COVID, and now they've come out to be true. He said he was taking it himself. Okay, what did they do to that? Oh, they buried it. Came out with fake news stories, fake articles that got put into supposedly peer-reviewed journals, which were not peer-reviewed, and they got yanked. Right. So this is what happens if you go all in. Now he's telling you, and people are like, I don't know if you can trust him. He'll do anything. He'll say anything to be. Well, he's one of the few politicians that actually delivered on promises. Now, Dems, it's not too late. No. That ship sailed. It's beyond too late. And to sit there and say it's only Elizabeth Warren, Jeff, it's the whole entire party. We pulled up the Fit 21 vote. And saying that's bipartisan, how many voted for it? 50, 60 people that are in crucial races for, this election cycle. To say, I voted for it. I know it's an important issue, but I voted for it, until they don't. So anyway, this is a little bit surprising for me. You can take the stance. No, they had the chance. Right? And I'm like, hey, recent votes in the House for the Fit 21 and the anti-CBDC, they were far from bipartisan.
The other one. Right.
The party supports crypto, decentralization, and innovation, while the blue party backs legacy systems, censorship, and control. Where am I going wrong?
Exactly. I don't know, but George is saying hello from Brisbane. Why do I not get notifications when they are turned on? Exactly.
Like to know that. We don't even get them. We don't
exactly. That's a good point, because our notifications have been blocked. I say.
Well, the best thing you can do is on your time, like in Brisbane there, we are on the same time on Mondays and Thursdays. So Monday and Thursday, the same exact time. You put a little calendar thing, a reminder in your calendar, and it says, "Oh, On the Chain's on." And then again, we're on it very late at night. They're on Saturday. I don't know what time it is, Jeff. It might be 10 p.m. or something.
I got the notification at 8:10.
Let me see if I got mine yet. I got nothing, Jeff. I have multiple
happened.
accounts too, and I got
It
nothing.
comes a little bit late, but then it finally comes in, and there you go, man. I'll tell you this whole thing. This the spin doctors are at work. I'm a little bit taken aback by the significance of how much money is being put into this super PAC and how much money Ripple. But I guess I'm not surprised. What we need to follow and look at is how much money Fairshake is going to be investing in and donating to candidates with an R. And if they do that, then hey, you know what? They're doing the right thing. If they don't, then that's a major issue. Is there a list of candidates that they've invested into or supported? Is that available someplace?
It is. I've tried to track it down. I've seen it in articles. So if you go to CoinDesk and search for Fairshake, we'll find the articles there. That's where I was looking at them earlier when I was doing show prep. But what I want to do is I want to highlight this fellow right here, because this fellow, and let's say, Jeff, just maybe it's a coincidence, but this guy, Josh Vlasto, he is the guy who is, he's at least the press guy responsible. You see his email on, he was hired in very recently. Now, let's just break it down, okay? He's the former chief of staff for and disgraced governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who left with a lot of questionable things, but what ultimately did him in was, let's not get too political here. I would say what happened, but here he is right here, and he's also, check this out. His mother worked for, who did she work for? I can't even see it here.
Video.
Charles. Okay, so he began his career as a policy aide to Charles Schumer. Now, if you take Schumer, Jeff, this is not a good track record so far. Okay, the two leftists of the Democrat Party is Charles Schumer, Chucky Schumer, and none other than Andrew Cuomo. Okay, so we're supposed to believe that this partisan guy is going to be doling out money. Of course, he would give $10 million to Adam Schiff because he was never in danger of losing. And who's that woman he ran against? Katie something. Right?
Exactly.
I don't even know. Nobody remembers her name. She's a nobody. Yeah, people said, oh, she was a close ally. She's in the House as well, but she's a close ally. And then she threw her support behind him anyway. I mean, it was the primary. So why wouldn't they support John Deaton in his primary bid? I don't understand. I really don't.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But this is really interesting, though.
What do you got there?
This is very interesting. So, I mean, you got to really look at everything in perspective to see exactly where the money's going. And so this is open secrets coming from looking at Fairshake recipients for 2024. So when you look at this,
I looked at that for a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's outside spending, independent expenditures. Now, is this all coming from Fairshake? Fairshake targeted candidates. Is this where it's coming from? If they're sitting on 110 million, did they give $10 million? Did they use 10 million against Democrats? What? And then total for Republicans 551,000. Total for Democrats 702. But Katie Porter received 10 million.
No, she didn't. They ran against her. That was Adam Schiff.
Oh, right. So
did they donate to her? I thought they backed Schiff in that race. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I mean, it's looking like 10 million went to but is this for? No, this was for against. So 10 million was spent against Katie Porter. So that's the big number. So then when you actually break it down, take her out of the equation, this 10 million is irrelevant. So 702,000 for Democrats, 551 to Republicans. So now let's look. So Patrick McHenry, we've got 4. But what's this? That's total.
126,000.
Yep.
Versus
Johnson
10 million,
Dusty.
guy's not going to lose his seat.
Josh Gottheimer. Exactly.
Okay, those are two Republicans, but 125,000.
Yeah,
Josh-
118 to Tom Emmer. Let's see if there's anybody relevant else. Let's see. Brittany, no. Don Davis, no. Richie Torres, 63,000.
Why did they give Richie Torres so much less? Richie Torres,
He's
It's
extremely
number 2
pro crypto.
who's so pro crypto, pro freedom, pro Israel. This is a guy. Why would you give him 63? That doesn't make any sense.
Even though he gets a little wish, I mean, he's a D, he's a Democrat. He's a little wishy-washy, doesn't know exactly where to fall, but that's where the party kind of comes down on him. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but why would you give $10 million? And notice they say who it's against. They don't say it's Adam Schiff. That's really interesting as well. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
yeah, exactly. And his name's doesn't even appear here as spending 10 in favor of.
Right. It's almost like they're trying to mask that.
They definitely want to mask it. And then how much did Ripple just give? They've given 50 million in total.
That's correct.
So what is Fairshake doing? If this is their total expenditures as of May 30th, right? I don't know how that's possible. That's tomorrow.
So they've given out $11 million, Jeff.
As of tomorrow, May 30th of 2024.
One Democrat.
According to Open Secrets. Now, assuming that this is accurate, then yeah, that's kind of where these numbers, but we know that at least that's accurate, right? The money spent against.
Yeah, but scroll up again. Okay, so you've got the man that leads the Financial Services Committee, the one that was behind the FIT 21, and responsible. He's Speaker of the House and brought that to the floor. Finally, it's been sitting there forever. He brought it to the floor. He gets 126K. Dusty Johnson also co-sponsored that bill, 126. Then you've got Josh Gottheimer, who's also a sponsor of the FIT 21. He got 122. Tom Emmer, who's been one of the most pro crypto. He wasn't even good enough. He only got 118K. This is what's really bizarre to me is like, but meanwhile here
are the numbers.
They gave. Why in the hell would you give Adam Schiff $10 million for a primary race he was never in danger of losing?
Right. It's really, really bizarre. So obviously that was some pay for play right there.
You know how they talked about Katie Porter though? They talked about Katie Porter as being aligned with Elizabeth Warren, right? So they were apparently they were worried about her running. But see right here, look at this right here is the Des Moines Register.
But here, before you put that up, here's the other issue that I have with the Fairshake PAC.
Bruce. All the leftist press, Axios.
Yeah, Axios, Politico. That's who they put up. So, but it's interesting. I mean, based on that open, we know they're supporting both sides, but you could see where their allegiance 10 million in favor of Schiff. That's a power play. Now, Ripple donated $50 million to them. So far, they've received like 110 million. What was it that you read off? 110, and they've up to now they've donated maybe 1.3 million.
Crazy. Yeah. So apparently this is what they said. They said they were worried about Katie Porter back in 2019. She told the Des Moines Register that Elizabeth Warren is the person I want to govern. Right. Remember, she's running for president. Back in 2017, former Elizabeth Warren student jumps into California. That was Katie Porter. So she was former student of Elizabeth Warren, and she ran for the House of Representatives, and she's in the House of Representatives. Katie Porter is the progressive choice. California Senate race underway with the March 5th jungle primary less than 6 months out. Right. So Katie Porter lost the Senate primary. This is where they ran against her. So I don't ever see someone like an Adam Schiff who's ingrained in California. He's another Dianne Feinstein. He's another, Nancy Pelosi. Why would he be in danger? Now, I get he was in the House of Representatives since 2001, and he's running for the Senate. But so was Katie Porter, who is recently in the House of Representatives and was also running for Senate. It's just ridiculous.
Right. And I want to see where Adam Schiff actually comes out and does something. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, here every statement is really based on the original statement. There's no other commentary. It's amazing. It really is. Adam Schiff, his voter base, no classify cryptocurrencies as unregulated commodities. But I just don't see anything. I don't see any other positive statements on cryptocurrency. And I think it might go back. What was it in March? That was it. Just March. There was one statement. Or it may even gone to February.
$10 million. Jeff, there's nothing to see here. It's just a coincidence. I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole thing is now they're gonna really sway everything because they want people to believe that this guy's pro crypto, and so here, look at this, strongly supports crypto. He's made 5 statements. Whoa, 5. Let's see, where are they? Where are the statements?
Where's the bills?
Somebody find the 5 statements that he's made, all 5 of them. And what bills has he sponsored that are pro crypto? He's that pro crypto, but he hasn't sponsored a bill, didn't come out as a primary co-sponsor of a bill. All of a sudden it's voting time, it's election time. All of a sudden he's pro crypto when they're realizing how strong the crypto base is, and then you have Fairshake. I really want to see where they're going to start spending, where the majority of their money is going to go. Are they going to come out? Trump comes out pro crypto. Are they going to put money behind Trump because he's pro crypto and put money, or are they going to put money against Biden because he's not pro crypto? Are they going to put money against Elizabeth Warren because she's anti crypto to a fault? Or are they going to come out and support John Deaton because he's running pro crypto? They spent, like you said, $10 million plus against Katie Porter.
It's really mind-boggling, especially when you give the people who, like Tom Emmer, Keep Your Coins Act, Patrick McHenry. These guys have been pro crypto for years, 5-6 years, and they're getting 120,000. Yeah, I mean, it's like a little bit lopsided there, as far as I can say. Love you guys.
Moms.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Karma goes here, but he's at work, Jeff. Keep it on the dollar. Keep it low.
Work. Keep it low.
Oh, keep it low, BlackRock. What is this?
Keep it low. Turn the radio down.
Shift meme on Soul. Shifty.
Shifty.
Shift. There you go.
Shifty shift.
BlackRock owns Ukraine. Ukraine's going to be a crypto hub, and the CBDC is going to go through the Treasury and the Fed. Walter, I say nay to that. No, that's not. No. That's all wrong.
Interesting, though. All of a sudden, Ukraine comes out as a major crypto hub. They lost FTX.
We're going to rebuild them. They're in there. We're going to rebuild Ukraine. So,
whose image?
Do you remember how we were told? We were told that Ukraine, we had to support them because it was democracy. Because of democracy, Jeff. Well, last week, Zelensky's term expired as the president, and he canceled the election. You know why? Because there's a war, Jeff. All that war footage you're bombarded with every day. What war footage?
Every day. We see a lot of it. Lots of footage.
So there's supposedly a war going on, and he had to cancel that so he could become a dictator. And he also outlawed one of the Christian sects of the church there because it was also a Russian church. So that part of Christianity got outlawed and shut down. Oh, and he also took over the media. It's all state run now. But for democracy, Jeff, democracy. And a lot of the politicians on the left side of the aisle have a real problem not understanding that the U.S. is not a democracy, but they're like, democracy. If the orange man runs and gets in, democracy. I'm like, well, we're a constitutional republic. So if you don't know the basics of the country, if you didn't pass Civics 101, I think it's time to go figure it out. And by the way, 2 of the members of the what's that mob? Ilhan Omar. What's the other one?
What?
What do you call them? What's their little sect? Ilhan Omar, and what are the rest of them?
The Outlaws.
The Squad. They are the Outlaws. Yeah. 2 of them. And Presley also, they tweeted out that they confused Memorial Days to remember the people who served and died defending this country, and they thought it was a different holiday because they said we got to support your servicemen and women out there, and then they had to delete the X post because people called them out and said, apparently you don't know what the holiday is. Imagine you're a sitting member of the House of Representatives, but you don't know what the holiday Memorial Day is for. That's pretty weak, Jeff.
It's too much. I look at them. The one thing that we don't hear enough of are the Islamo-fascists in this country and over in England and in Europe. How come we don't hear about that? I was watching a video earlier and they were talking about that. I think it was Douglas Murray, and they were talking about no one talks about the Islamo-fascists, and
No.
yet the squad supports the Islamo-fascists. So, what's going on? Why isn't anyone calling them out for that? That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Who I like a lot is Bukele. Man, I like that guy.
Listen, he's the fun. Listen, if you're gonna, I like
Amazing
dictators
guy.
with good intentions, Jeff. If you're a dictator and you've got good intentions, you're Bukele.
That's right.
Okay.
So he was
So
over there at CPAC talking. Yeah, that
right.
guy was slick. He says
Here's-
a lot of good things.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is when you have good intentions, you can lock up all of the M29 or 20. What are they called? Those gang members,
Yeah,
right?
he did, but you know what he said? They rounded up like 70,000
Yeah, throw 'em
in
in
like
jail.
a short, but it took like 2 years. But then he said over time, because someone was calling him out on it, and he said that they said, oh, but you mistakenly arrested innocent people, and he said, but the U.S. and the U.K. you arrest innocent people all the time, and he said you see innocent people getting off with DNA evidence after 30 years. He goes, that's why you have the court system, and he said they've done the same thing, and they've released 7,000 people that
That's
were found to be
right.
innocent,
Love
but the
dictators.
media covers that up.
He's the first one. He's the first dictator in the history that has good intentions and is trying to do the best by the public. But there was no right to a speedy trial because there's no constitution that guarantees your right to a speedy
Not
trial.
over there. No.
But by contrast, if you were one of the J6ers, 3.5 years later, you still don't have a trial. So that was the whole idea that you needed to be put up. You needed to have a trial to be put on trial for whatever your crime supposedly was. Yeah, it's okay. So here we go, Jeff. I found this other.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, Memorial Day was originally on 5/30, and tomorrow's my birthday. So when they moved it, I got cheated. You got cheated out of a day.
What are you gonna do?
There you go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you,
to Sophie.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. Here we go. Crypto PAC spent millions to get Alabama candidate on path towards Congress. Shamari Figures won the Democrat primary in Alabama after $2.7 million and outside support from one of the digital assets' main campaign finance operations. You ever see this guy before? You know who he is? Shamari benefited
for the name.
Clean and direct support from a single crypto-focused political action committee on his way to winning the Democrat primary. The flood of outside advertising was given the advantage over the prominent Democrat opponent, who raised more in direct competition.
His real name?
Shamari, I guess so.
Shamari Figures.
It figures. Then he won this week's Democratic runoff with 61%.
Can't get him for the name.
Where is this political action committee backed by cryptocurrency and progress? He drew in that spending. What is this one, Jeff? Is this a different one? Oh, here we go.
I don't know.
Shamari working together to support innovation for Flasto, a spokesman for Protect Progress. Jeff, what is Protect Progress? Is this another super PAC?
Oh, I'm looking it up.
How do we not know this one?
Because it has the word progress in it.
The funny thing is, Figures occupied roles in former President Barack Obama's White House, once worked for current Senate Banking Committee Chairman Sherrod Brown, on his campaign website. Protect Progress PAC, an offshoot of the main crypto industry group, Fairshake. Look at this. Just uncovered something new here, Jeff.
For spending. Oh, it's an offshoot of Fairshake.
That to,
you know what their viewpoint is? Take a guess. You guess what the overall
to support left
of
candidates get in Congress?
Liberal,
same thing.
Right.
Okay.
So here's what we've got. So how much money have they spent for and against? So you have Fairshake. Oh, here's another one, another affiliate. Grand total spent on 2024 elections, $6 million. Then you have Defend American Jobs, Super PAC. You've got Fairshake PAC. Oh, that's there too.
Yeah, make that a little larger.
Oh, you're on mine here. Yep. So 6 million. 4 Democrats, 5.2 million. For against Democrats, 239. For Republicans, 553. Now the question is who, what, where,
Is that how they're
how.
hiding it? They have these offshoots? They spent $3 million on this Democrat candidate that nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't look at that. So I got to look at, so Defend American Jobs. So now this is interesting too. So Defend American Jobs is also an affiliate of Fairshake. And guess what their viewpoint is?
What's that?
Conservative. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man.
Look at this right here, Jeff.
This is crazy. They're like on this super PAC is on all sides. Their affiliates are on all sides here. Against Democrats, 0. For Republicans, they've spent $11 million, which is this one here. So this is crazy. So these are all affiliates. Well, they're all affiliates of the main Fairshake, which is nonpartisan.
Well,
But yet they've spent the majority of the money they've spent was in favor of. They've spent over $10 million, almost 10.7 on Democrats because they voted against Katie Porter in favor of the Schiffmeister.
Look at this. John Doe
There
is
you go.
long enough to remember Sir John's serenading. Don't worry, we'll play
Not
that
me.
later.
I haven't been. Nope.
So Steve Willits, you're an Aussie, right? So tell me, Jeff, if you had to think, you don't know much about American politics, but tell me one anti-crypto politician. Whose name would that be?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, of course it will be, Jeff. So if you know anything, but
Schiff.
they're supporting these no-name candidates. And meanwhile,
Schiff.
don't bet against John Deaton. John Deaton will absolutely take her down. And
I'll tell you what.
Here's another one. Look at this, Jeff.
So what's this Shomari?
The industry
Who he is.
$7 million, according to the committee organizers, marked the most the super PAC by far devoted to a Democrat congressional candidate, followed by $1 million for Texas Democrat Julie Johnson. So there's $4 million right there.
What a name, Julie Johnson.
Julie Johnson.
Oh, Julie Johnson.
Super PACs generally devote their money to advertising the support of a candidacy, but aren't permitted to coordinate directly with the campaign.
Right.
Have to. I mean, they donated.
Which PAC is that?
This is the Protect Progress PAC.
Yep. They've only spent $6 million on Democrats so far.
Well, then the $10 million.
However, Fairshake spent 10.7. They spent 6. So they're almost at 17 million. So they're about 17 million in favor of Democrats coming from Fairshake. That's what I see. And then Defend American Jobs has spent 11 million. So they're definitely a little bit lopsided. They've got the majority of the money going to Democrats. They're off about 6 million, give or take, because they have about 11 million, 11.6, and they're at like almost 17. So there you go.
Why isn't it going to
Democrats? What's that?
Running. John Deaton is arguably running against the most anti-freedom, anti-crypto member of Congress in the Senate, Elizabeth Warren. Look at this, Jeff. So this
and how much have they donated to him?
I don't know. I don't know if they donated any money, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll back Elizabeth Warren at this point. So Jeff, this weekend they had the Libertarian candidate, right? Trump actually spoke there. I know RFK Jr. was also there on the ballot to become the Libertarian candidate. And speaking of Milei, the Libertarian Party is having a moment. How it started, there's Milei, one of the most famous winners, a Libertarian candidate, won as a Libertarian. And this guy, who's a left-wing job. What's his name, Jeff?
Shifty Schiff.
No, this guy right here. The Democrat.
Is that Velato? Who is that guy?
No, that's the Libertarian candidate. I don't remember his name. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah. Oh, what was his name? Something Chase.
Yeah, something Chase. And then here's another one. How it started. Mel Gibson, freedom, running with the flag. And there you go. Chase Oliver.
So I think this is what, you hear from a lot of the libertarians. This is kind of what they say. This is the image they portray over here on the left. And then at the end of the day, this is who they really are.
That's right.
On the
So don't-
right. I think that's the idea of the meme.
There you go. Chase Oliver. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much. From freedom. Yeah, we're freedom seekers too. Well, there you go. I mean, there's another one. I mean, how it started, how it ended. These people sort of like caught on to that whole thing, and yeah.
Yep. Funny stuff. People are funny.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. Also really gets it is the Babylon Bee. Those guys get it. They get the
B is
B
the best parody site. I remember the Onion back in the day.
all time.
They were pretty good back in the day.
Is the Onion still around? Right.
I don't know, Jeff.
The Onion Media Company, not as French onion soup. So what did I click? French onion soup.
Jeff, first of all, this is for our audience, but kangaroos are asking people unfairly comparing them to U.S. justice system. Kangaroo court, Jeff. I mean, I thought that's pretty strong.
That's it.
Gotta like that. This is a real headline, YouTube. So don't shun me for it. This is the Pope. He said, "I apologize for using an offensive slur to refer to flaming homo Nancy boys." Damn, that's the B for you, man. It's getting crazy.
Finally, Crypto Whelp, our one Twitch viewer, has shown up. Thank you.
Did you hear what happened? So we couldn't. The U.S. wasn't going to drop aid directly in Gaza, Jeff. So they built this. They spent $320 million on a floating dock that would then deploy it. So that's what they were going to do, and that thing sunk.
Its pieces are washing up on shore, all the way up and down the coastline.
Might as well just you could have just thrown out an airplane window and had people just have a free for all. But to save time, Biden to drop the next $320 million cash directly into the ocean. So there it is. There's the.
Oh my God, it's so crisp.
And Jeff, did you know that Hamas is
crisp.
celebrating Pride Month, Jeff?
I saw that. Yeah.
Right. They're kicking.
I saw that one.
This is Pride Month kickoff party on roof of a very
tall hotel.
They're just on fire.
I'll tell you what. Hey, when was the last time you watched South Park?
Last time I watched it was when they did the Lizzo commercial.
Oh, you did it recently?
They made fun of Lizzo.
Of Lizzo. So they just had a whole episode on semaglutides and the weight loss injections.
That was the whole idea of the Lizzo commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
So when Cartman went to the doctor and they were going to give him the semaglutide, and they found out it was $1,200 a month, and they said we can't afford that. So the doctor said, he goes, "I have another solution for you," and he wrote him a script for Lizzo. So you got to listen to. He goes, listen to Lizzo 5 times a day and before bedtime every night.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. Oh my God, it was like an hour episode on semaglutides. It was awesome. And the boys started a compound pharmacy. It was very hilarious.
I only saw the commercial. I didn't see the whole thing. But,
oh my God, it was great. It was great.
Jeff, some more B's. Every once in a while, you got to go through these. Are good. A man at the Tower of Babel was upset he didn't get a cool British accent. Oh God, these are so good, Jeff.
They're the best.
I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're writing some good stuff.
Every day, just coming out with good things. And by the way, the Onion is still available. It's still around. It's not quite as funny as Babylon. The Babylon Bee, though, it's just,
How about this one, Jeff? College grad finds the perfect spot on the wall to hang the first unemployment check.
Oh God! All right, what's next on our agenda here?
Some
other things.
Ways for Christians to prepare for Pride Month. That was a little taken back.
Get into some of this stuff, and we got Crypto Eddie talking about interoperability is the key to success. XRP is a gas token. Have anything queued up? We have some videos that were queued up. Something solid. What do you got?
That was solid. I could run through the B all day. People are misunderstanding my message about the need for a shift in KOL storytelling. XRP is essential providing security and excels in its role as a gas token. Now, while interoperability is key for the development of DeFi, tokenization, etc., smart contract-based smart blockchains like that of Ripple tokenization partner Zonix Zinc wraps the tokens to simplify the conversion between different token standards, enhancing accessibility and composability within the entire ecosystem. It's not just about one token or one standard. Um, Flare Networks, the F assets is another example of utilizing a variety of tokens, including Bitcoin, Doge, XRP trustlessly within the EVM smart contracts on Flare. And the network technology is designed to enhance interoperability and enable new functionalities across different blockchain platforms. Again, it's not about one token or one standard. And another excellent 55-page report from the OW Forum, Inside Big Money, on how tokenization and digital money may transform high-value payments and wholesale finance. The future is not about one token or one standard. So, really great point she's making.
It's solid. And I think, people were definitely, looking, and kind of thinking, she was kind of addressing a little bit differently. Right from the beginning, she said people are kind of maybe a little bit confused, maybe misunderstanding. We need interoperability. Without interoperability, you have nothing. XRP could be, a great solution as a gas token. You have all these amazing solutions that are popping up, and you have projects that are utilizing other assets. And I like how she's referencing the ecosystem. You can't be centric. What was it? Everyone complained about, Bitcoin maxis, and then they became XRP centric. But even worse, they became XRP Ripple centric. And I think that if you're going to go in any direction, support and figure out how great the technology of the XRPL is, and then find projects that are using the XRPL to better the overall ecosystem. And that's kind of what Crypto Eddie's also referencing, and what we're seeing. There's so much more, without all these different projects being able to work together, you have nothing, and that's also, a solid point. Think about where banks were. Banks all over the world had a major issue moving money because they couldn't communicate with each other. They needed a certain standard. Now they standardized. You have all different banks, different currencies, different banks, different sets of ownership. Then they streamlined that communication process through Swift. And then they were able to kind of settle. Within the crypto space, we kind of have to have that same thing, and that same communication within the blockchain is interoperability, meaning that there's solutions where you have communication between all of these siloed platforms, and there isn't one that is going to be the best. You need all of them. Every one of them has a strength and a weakness. Like Bitcoin has a strength. What's its strength? Limited availability, and it's already a first mover advantage. It has global recognition, and it is an amazing store of value because of all of that. If you look at the XRPL, obviously inherent in movement of money, converting currencies, FX, it has, a lot of great solution. XRP is fast, efficient, and doesn't cost a lot to move and transfer. Bitcoin's expensive to move and slow. Ethereum is expensive to move and slow, but Ethereum is an amazing solution, not just for smart contracts, but it was first mover advantage with ERC-20 to then expand the system. And that's one of the things that we're starting to see, all of these different solutions, and it's expansive, Chip, and you need interoperability to allow them all to function together. You need that bridge. Without the bridge, we're going to continue down the siloed path, and we're going to lose against big bank, because they're going to try to keep crushing it. That's what I think. That's what I say.
Yeah, I was seeing this message right here. Any thoughts on Axelar and Root Network? Yeah, I think the Root Network is key. We've interviewed Aaron McDonald twice on the channel. We also had the chance to also interview him on stage at the Wave of Innovation conference in
Very cool
Gold Coast.
Fun.
So yeah, very good. Axelar right here. Again, the big thing is Web3, but it's Web3, but it's interoperability again. So that interoperability OpenStack, connect all blockchains, always going to be very good and popular. It's going to be multiple people in there. You can see some of the folks in the DeFi world and some of the infrastructure. Filecoin, Morales is built in there. But again, tokens are going multi-chain and it's getting easier. It's the same sort of conference here where you have this interoperability in the Web3 space, programmability, Ethereum built in a programmable money, XLR is building programmable interoperability. I think this is the winner all day long. All day long.
Yeah, I like it.
And again, it's just, it's the whole idea of betting on programmable, scalable, secure. It's what you want, man. This is the future. It's not single chain, it's multi-chain, and it's that interoperability which is going to ultimately win. And big, and of course, we're big fans of the Root Network as well. So there you go, Alex. There's our thoughts on that. We need to see more from it, but there's been a lot of good partnerships. John Doe says, I had so much excitement for Flare at first. And what I've learned with Flare and all their projects really is that you have to zoom out expectations on a timetable based on use and adoption. My excitement doesn't affect reality. I see Flare taking their time, doing things right, but I think they're going to emerge as a pretty positive force. I just have this feeling that they're going to do good things. They're delivering, they're doing stuff. The F assets, I just feel like the way they're thinking about interoperability, what Crypto Eddie was just talking about, how it incorporates Bitcoin, Doge, and XRP, it's going to get better. It's going to get bigger. And the excitement you want, and a lot of times the excitement is you want the adoption to happen. You want people to be using it. Again, it's not really there yet, but I do feel like it will offer quite a bit as it moves forward. And I think that's a positive sign.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a video here. We want to watch this video. This is somebody.
Yeah, let me just reference this because Sophie was asking, then we can throw it up there. But MasterCard's crypto credential goes live to simplify sending Bitcoin. So here, I think this is a big move also. But here you have the peer-to-peer service provides simple aliases to users in over a dozen countries. And they're looking, maybe it'll support NFTs at some point. But here you go. Global payment giant MasterCard has gone live with a service designed to make peer-to-peer crypto payments simpler and more secure in a number of European and Latin American nations. The crypto credential. So here it is, gone live with its first peer-to-peer. The solution not only replaces complex wallet addresses with user-friendly alias, but also makes sending blockchain transactions secure, transparent, and accessible. And so this is a really big move on behalf of MasterCard. They're getting into it. I think that we're just seeing the beginning of it. And so then when you have these naysayers like Elizabeth Warren, that's kind of like, hey, what the heck? What's going on? Why she's so anti-crypto? And there's MasterCard. And MasterCard is, I think they've been skirting it for a while, but they want to get in. They want to find a solution, and they're gonna find it. Who else is better to help facilitate the movement of money than a MasterCard?
And what's going to be, and where that's eventually going to go, or where it can go, is sure they're starting with Bitcoin, right? Because you send it to this address. What address? If something's wrong there, versus an alias, which makes it simple. Don't you imagine they're going to add Ethereum to it? Don't you think they're going to add, Cardano, XRP? The idea is interoperability. So you have one address, you send whatever you want to that address. Right. We'll get to a point where you can do that. And again, the XRP ledger something like that could facilitate that, where you send something and it's going to take some more engineering. But the whole idea is that all this friction we have with crypto right now is because it's all silo. We're like, the silos are what's killing it. The interoperability of doesn't matter what chain you're on. Yeah, I want to send you XRP, but you want it in Bitcoin. Great. That's where we're going to get to. It's not there yet. Mm-hmm. This is where the interoperability comes into play, is that, people will be agnostic. You just, whatever you're a fan of, you'll get paid in that. And it'll happen in a matter of seconds. But MasterCard's thinking about it the right way, how they're going to facilitate it and make it easier. We need easier, right? We need easier custody, because this is what's scary. It's like, oh, how do you get XRP? Well, you go to an exchange. Then what do? Well, you open up an account and you fill out 4,000 forms, and then you get that. Then what do? Then you send money, and then what happens? Well, then you get that, and then what do I do? Well, then I send it to a wallet, and then what happens? It's a lot for most people, man. It's
too much. And even, Panos had been talking about, nobody cares about the engine. Nobody cares about what's going on behind the scenes. You know who cares about it? Tech people that want to build and develop in the space. You know, people that like tech and they follow tech. You know what? Everybody else, they don't care. They
Yeah,
don't
they don't.
care. You know, the future is invisible. That's the whole point, you know, and that's where the interoperability is key. And that's where these big businesses are key. And that's where traditional finance companies are key because though they're not going away. What will change is how the money flows between them and the interoperability, which will flow, you know, through the blockchain, the transactions, the faster movement, cheaper movement. Some companies will go away. They're not going to be needed anymore. You know, you don't need horse whips made in mass numbers ever since the invent of the car, you know, the automobile, you know, and then at some point, you know, we'll have hydrogen based cars and, you know, we won't need gas, you know, at some point 100 years from now, you know, but, you know, that's the point. You know, we have progress. And so moving money and how that experience is will also be a little bit different. You know, and that's where the blockchain is going to step in and they're going to adopt MasterCard's move. Big deal. Panos's comment is really a big deal as well. So what?
So this past
House shoe. What happened?
this past it's a giveaway. Well, you got to get there at the beginning, but basically they
It's the
donated
beginning.
$1 million to a super PAC, which is giving it away to leftist candidates. There you go. That's the giveaway.
That was the giveaway.
A little bit of a riddle wrapped inside of a funny there. So there you go. All right, so let's take a look at this. So Trump was at this past weekend. He visited the Libertarian, and you know, Libertarians. Jeff and I have our own thoughts about it, but let's just listen into what he has to say here.
Will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody. To the nation's 50 million crypto holders, I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. I will also...
Yeah, so he said a bunch of other things too. He also said he would also pardon Ross Ulbricht, who is rotting in a jail after 12 years for Mt. Gox. Meanwhile,
the Mt. Gox.
Other people went on to fame. Jed McCaleb was one of the early founders and recipients of a lot of XRP over there at Ripple, and then he left Ripple to go start his own gig, and then he was part of Mt. Gox too, but somehow, and people made the story, well, you know, all the trafficking and drugs and everything else that went on there. He created a platform for it, but a lot of people have created stuff that were used for nefarious use. Certainly Bitcoin and crypto falls into that category to a lesser degree, but I mean, give the guy a life sentence for creating a website. I mean, you know, I mean, it got hacked, but was that his fault? I mean, did he take the money? Did he steal the money? No, I think that's absolutely right. And I think that's where
yeah.
excited about that.
It's really, really tough. I'm going through the John Deaton feed too, but yeah, it's, man, it's really, very troubling, very troubling. All these different things that we see. Obviously the candidate that the Libertarian Party decided to support, you know, I don't know. They're not going to win anyways, you know, so they pick a weak candidate. You know, you hear some booing in the background, you know, I mean, this is, you know, Trump is big limited government guy, you know, but they're, you know, I don't know. They talk a talk, you know, it's just, that's a whole different conversation.
Oh, Jeff, Trump made a very important statement. He says, listen, you can endorse somebody who's made these promises that has a shot at winning, or enjoy your 3%. That was what he said. You know, enjoy your 3% of the vote, that if you're lucky, you get 3%, right? So be an eternal loser with an eternal loser candidate who, you know, it was for mass mandates. I mean, he's a Democrat. I mean, I don't know why he was in the Libertarian Party, but anyway, somehow he put his name in the hat, and people maybe thought he was somebody. I don't know who they did, but this is another. This is another important thing too. That Paul Grewal's from Coinbase over there. He's the chief legal counsel over there. But he put this post over on X. This is your taxes at work. Judge Shelby ordered the SEC to pay attorney's fees of over $1 million and receivership feels about 750,000 after finding that the commission engaged in bad faith conduct in obtaining and defending the TRO and imposed a sanction against the commission of all attorneys' fees and costs arising from improvidently entered ex parte relief. This is a huge thing. Just to show you how out of control they are, they had to pay $1.75 million because of their basic ethic violations here. And there you have it. And this, we're going to see more of this.
A lot more of that.
We're going to see a lot more of this.
Yep.
There's a lot going on, Jeff. This is great to see the tide turning, though.
The tide, oh no, without a doubt, the tide is definitely turning. The thing is, like we always said, you got to allow your enemy to continue destroying themselves, or when they're in the process of destroying themselves, just let them be. You give them enough rope, and they're gonna hang themselves, and that's the point. Scotty says you guys got to get Byron Donald's back on again. A lot has changed. We do. That's a great point. There's a number of other congressional representatives that we'd love to get back on to talk about some of the developments that are going on in the space. And I think Byron Donalds is still at the top of the VP list, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's on the list.
I think you have to pick a candidate for a guy for vice president that would make an amazing president. And I know a lot of people think Vivek is like the guy. I'm not saying he's not the guy, but I'm saying the guy Byron Donalds, there's nobody who's better when it comes to policy, it comes to support America first. He's an original. He didn't just grandstand. I think that he's absolutely the best candidate. There's a lot of other people at the top of the list, which I'm not so. I mean, if it wasn't Byron, Vivek, I think would be it, but I don't see somebody like that would maybe try to always be outshining the president. You want a VP is always a little bit more subdued until it's their time, and where Vivek's, I think, a little bit more outspoken.
I think he could do it, though. I think Vivek could do it if he had to.
I don't know. I don't know if it's possible.
But who could do it? Would be Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds, that guy's solid. He's as solid as they come. Remember when we interviewed him, I think you might have asked him a question about VP.
I said, I nominate you for VP. He's like, you're going to get me in trouble over here, Chip. I'm going to knock it off.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you, first of all, he's on my feed and I get notifications. So I watch him very closely. He posts all of his interviews. He's always on Astounding. He was on CNN the other day too, and he was phenomenal, just phenomenal. He's very smart-witted, and you're not going to outsmart him, man. You're just not going.
That's important.
The gotcha question. Two people that will be like that. Vivek's another one. Ramaswamy and Byron Donald. Two guys that, if you had to put them in the top, I would. Tim Scott, too timid, too.
He wouldn't make a good president, I don't think.
He wouldn't make a good president. He might be a good VP. It's just like Pence. Pence was a dud. He was just
he was a complete dud, and then he washed his career, flushed it down the toilet.
He was always like, he seemed insincere to me. He always seemed like just a giant phony.
Yeah.
He was the guy that rolled over where he passed a thing about Christian faith and everything else, and he's supposedly this Christian guy, and then he rolled over on it because people were trashing him in the news, and so he wanted to placate them. He's a pleaser. You don't want pleasers. You don't want Republicans in name only. You want people who are going to stick their neck out. I saw JV had a really good post today. He said, some guy was saying, yeah, Trump's going to take your freedom. He's like, take your freedom. They're pretty much try to take everything from Trump. You look at him, he lost $1 billion after becoming president. You look at Obama's worth $2 million and he became worth $40 million, right? It's like the Clintons were worth $500,000. They were worth $30 million, $40 million, $100 million. So
yeah.
What is he losing there? And I always forget that he's been president for 4 years already.
Yeah.
He's good. I mean, have you forgotten? People, I have not forgotten.
Yeah, that's what their whole point is. They're like, oh, there's never going to be an election ever again. This Biden, what's her name? Fake Dr. Biden. She was saying, oh, there'll never be an election ever again. This is it. You're going to lose all your freedoms. But, you're to your point. He was there for 4 years. He left after 4 years. You can argue that the election was stolen. That there was a lot of shenanigans in different parts of the country. However you want to look at it, he didn't hold on to power. He didn't call in the National Guard and surround himself with the military to stage a coup. He left. You know, he walked out. You know who hasn't accepted the 2016 election? Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi. Neither one of them have accepted it. And Nancy Pelosi, until today, is still saying that the election was fixed in 2016. So, you know, this whole notion, it's so disingenuous. You know, the outright lies, the deception, you know, it's just that they're so corrupted that I'm shocked every day that they still have some fragment of support. I'm shocked that there's anybody in the crypto space that most, I would say everyone in the crypto space is intelligent, but the majority of them are here because they're trying to figure out, like, you know, I want to, in today's day and age, it's all about the decentralization. I want more freedoms. I want more money. I want to find this path. And yet they'll still go and support and vote for one of these Democrats that want to take away freedoms. Look what they did to New York and California and, you know, all these states. We have people leaving. You know, Florida is filled up at this point because people have fled their states. You know, it's out of hand. You know, people need to open their eyes a little bit and start thinking with their brains. They have brains in their head for a purpose, but yet people don't use them. And you know what they do? Instead of using the brain to start thinking logically, they lash out. You know, and then they lash out and they mock you, you know, or they try to belittle you, and they won't use any form of intelligent discourse or you know, argument to prove their point. They won't use facts because they don't have facts, so they make up facts. And it's just you know, we're at a point now where, you know, things are changing drastically because they tried to lie about a lot and they tried to change things around. And, you know, there's a lot of smart people out there, and a lot of smart people have woken up to it, and they've lost a huge amount of support from multiple different groups across the board. And this is the 2024 election is critical for the freedom of the country and the freedom of the rest of the world. We didn't implode by happenstance globally over the past 3 years because, you know, Trump was in office as a fascist trying to take over the world. The world has imploded for the past 3 years because the United States, which is the beacon of hope and freedom, is a rudderless, has no leadership. And we're just floating out there, and the whole world has no leader, to as a beacon of the free world. And that's where it is. And that's it.
Jeff, even Saturday, we're already getting a rant. A Jeff rant.
We got to keep it going.
This because Robert De Niro, he thought he should go to the courthouse. And I thought this was funny the way this was. He said he would never leave. He'll never leave, Jeff.
If he gets in,
can you hear this?
I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave.
Can you hear it or no?
Yeah, it's really low. I can hear it. I probably
see for some reason.
I turned up, but that's look who they bring out, and those are the two guys, the two policemen. They didn't even.
If he gets in,
supposedly from there,
I can tell you right now.
Oh, you turned up the
volume.
volume.
He will never leave. He will never leave. You know
and he's
that.
reading a script too.
He will never leave.
The right side.
He will never leave.
Oh my God.
Never leave. Never leave. Never leave. He will never leave.
That's right. Never.
He
Never.
will never leave. You know that. He will never leave.
What another.
That's some fun stuff right there. I was like, but he already left. He left the first
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
I was
exactly. He's been gone for 3 years.
Half years ago. I mean, he did leave. You know, it's like, it's just, man. Anyway, Jeff, that's all the time we have. I know we get sucked into politics, but that's it, man. The whole world.
It impacts everything, Chip.
It's geopolitics, man. You got to connect the dots. Follow the money. Greetings, humans and self-aware bots. The obligatory comment from BZ. What's up, BZ? An actor reading
a script. That's they brought him in. They brought in the actor. You know, people have forgotten. Oh, look at this, man. Crypto. Well, going to court.
Divorce for 7 hours. Sorry, I was late, but dude, I hope everything works out, man. Man.
Hey, you know what? It's late over there too because he's in the Netherlands, and they're what, like 5 hours ahead, 6 hours ahead.
On
Man,
Twitch?
late over there. He's on Twitch, or one viewer on Twitch.
Send you support, man. Send you support. It's a
So-
rough time to go through that, man. But anyway, that's all we have. What do we have here from, what is Mike saying here? See you later, sweetheart. Okay, thanks.
Sophie was leaving.
Sophie, yeah. Sophie always says time to go. She always has to leave it right on time. She's good.
That's right. We don't leave on time. Sophie
never-
leaves on time.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna just keep on and on and all that good stuff. But,
Look at YouTube crushing us again. 277 watching, but we got because of X. YouTube is just crushing us. YouTube.
we got to start talking about $589. Wait, no, $3,649.76 for per token. We start
Per
doing
token, per XRP. XRP to 1,000.
We have a shot, Jeff. I know we can do it. I know it. So anyway, that's all the time we got, guys. Join us on Saturday morning when we will do more of the same, bring you some more fun-loving crypto / stuff. But keep your eye on that Fairshake. I'm not sure we're getting a Fairshake, but it's a great name. But you got to like follow it up with if you're not going to back the one man who's going to take out the anti-crypto, anti-freedom,
Right.
she's everything. If you just follow her on, all she does is bitch and whine all day long about this company and that company, and she does nothing.
So let's see what happens after August, after primary season, and now they're going to be supporting specific candidates that are
Correct.
going to be that have finished won their primary. So let's see what happens at that point. We'll all.
Yeah, but Deaton does have a challenger, and who knows how they're gonna rig the vote there to take him out, and he drops out and throws his support behind Elizabeth Warren. I don't trust it.
Which is why they're not supporting him at this point.
He gave $10 million to Schiff, who was
Shifty.
I mean, for what? He was in a campaign for or a primary actually. So anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. Oh.
Thank you and good night.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Oh, yeah, Rebecca.
What happened? What happened? It
You
froze.
played Thank You and Good Night, and something got mixed up in the shuffle.
Thank
Play
you and good night.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.